and welcome back to you. Welcome if you're new. We're glad you could join us.
Absolutely.
I'm Sue.
I'm Michael, and we are a close-knit family. It is Thursday, August 8th, 2019. This is Season 2, Episode 11. We are a Knitcast, coming to you from Armstrong in the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada, following my adventures as a newer knitter, our ongoing yarn and knitting addictions, and everything that is wrong in the world according to Jude.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jude just walked in and it's like she knew.
And she started bumping the camera already. Good start, good start.
Sorry about that. So I have to tell you, like the monitor that we watch to make sure that, we're getting things in frame and stuff. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Has a very different color
balance
than what you see. And in this monitor, I look like I just stepped out of a, I don't even know. I am
just
red.
Just red.
Red. And then white blonde on top. And it looks really, really weird. But yeah, I guess I got a little sun when I was away.
Hellboy. That's what you remind me of, right?
I look like Hellboy. Oh my. Yeah, like there's this red line.
Yeah, it's a very definite line.
Red and then white. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But that won't turn up as well for you guys, as we learn from experience. Anyway.
I mean, red. Anyway. Yeah. Sorry. Aren't you glad you know that you can't see it? Skies above Armstrong? Hot, a little hazy with smoke. Just a little bit though, like no complaints compared to the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Just a few. There are some fires. There's some there are some evacuations going on around and about, but nothing like what we've had in previous years. And of course, our thoughts go with and to the people involved in those fires as much as they did in the past with other fires. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So,
of course, it's been about, 2 weeks into.
Yeah, sorry I didn't get one out. I just didn't have the energy.
Yeah. Aww, poor Mike. So, I was away camping for 10 days.
I was holding down the fort.
Yeah, doing anything interesting?
I played some Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. My friend Fiona seduced a dragon, which was... I was playing the dragon in that part.
Oh!
So that was interesting.
Did you guys need to be alone or anything?
No.
Oh my god.
Because my girlfriend was sitting right next to me.
Yeah. Okay. Your best friend was seducing you while your girlfriend was sitting next to you.
Filming the whole thing. Anyway.
Awesome. You got film of that?
I do have film of that.
You'll have to show it to me sometime.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
19, you say.
And I am being dead honest. I have my gifts. I have... Please.
If you so request my arms, why do you bring others with you?
They're just tagging along. That's why they let me go first.
I smell a dwarf. 2 dwarves. No, you're the other dwarf.
No, there's 2.
Oh, 2 dwarves, an elf, another halfling, a human, a goblin, and a wolf.
Again, they're here for something else. They're here for the cave, and
what do they want?
They want some cave. I want you.
I have no idea how to roleplay this.
So that's super funny. Mm-hmm. I thought of something in there. Oh, I just saw this morning, because Cool Cam is like a dragon. Mm-hmm. He loves all things dragon.
Yes.
And I saw a really neat pattern this morning for a crocheted dragon.
Ooh.
So maybe not this year. We'll see, but maybe a crocheted dragon is in his future. And I will look up the name of the designer and stuff, and Michael put it in at the bottom here.
Yes.
I'm just going to put a note,
dragon stuff.
Stuff.
Because when Robin and I were staying with Cool Camp, on our trip down to Vancouver, and my cousin Melanie was there briefly. He was like, "Melanie, I found a new dragon store."
Yeah. We went all over Nelson when we were there looking for dragons. So
Yeah.
it was really fun.
Oh god, I know there's a bookstore in Nelson that may have had some dragon stuff from, but actually probably not.
We
Anyway.
probably went there.
Probably, yeah.
Probably
Nelson
did.
isn't very big.
Yeah. And so for those of you who like to keep abreast of what's going on with my fingernails, so I've still got my, I don't know if I probably did. These were my camping nails. So just bright green, a bit of sparkle on them, fairly short, fairly, and they're ready to be replaced. So yesterday was my first day back at work.
Yeah.
And after 10 days away, it's good to kind of play a little bit with the gel and stuff before you actually have a client, just to, get back into it. So I did this.
Oh my.
to
my.
Just for fun. Just for fun.
That is certainly fun.
I mean, I know that one, but I was working really, for anyone who understands about nails, like that nail, if you look right down the barrel of it there, that's like a perfect nail. And the shape's good, but it's crooked. And that's normal when I do my own nails. I can't see them quite right, and I tend to make them crooked. And I'm very, when I'm filing and stuff, they end up going this way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of normal when I do my own. But today those are going to get shortened down into something. I didn't have time at the end of yesterday because I actually drove my last client home.
Oh.
After the appointment, because it was so hot, I didn't want her walking. So I didn't have a chance to...
Oh, and then that's why you came home with the screamers.
Yes. Screamer.
For those of you who don't know...
Go ahead.
A screamer is in this particular context, is a slush drink with a layer of soft serve ice cream and then more slush drink.
Well, if you get it without the lid...
Yes.
Then the ice cream is on top.
Right, okay.
But because I was bringing them home, they put the ice cream right in the middle.
Right.
In Enderby, we called them polar floats.
We did, yes.
Yeah.
But I believe they're more colloquially known as screamers.
Okay. There you go. So, yeah, camping.
Camping. How was camping?
It was, we all agreed, the three of us. So, myself, my husband... Lloyd, and Cool Cam.
Yep.
All agreed that it was probably the best camping trip that we'd ever been on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was really, like the three of us just kind of, we kind of have the same kind of rhythm. And it was just very, like, nobody had to worry about making sure anyone was entertained.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do something with someone else, you said yes. If you didn't, you said no, and nobody got upset.
Yeah.
And, sleep in as long as we want. If somebody got hungry, they stood up and they started to make dinner, and it was just really, really easy. The boys, I don't know why, but they treated me like a princess.
Aww.
I should probably know why, because I deserve it. That's what they say anyway, but... I think it's more of those happy wife, happy life things. But, yeah, so that was really good. One kind of highlight was, we need to look up that old picture. It's about 6 years old of me sitting under the umbrella on Cool Cam's boat. Okay. So, my brother's boat is, and we'll try to put that picture I just mentioned in here. Picture, boat, umbrella. My brother's boat, it's not a big boat.
No, it's not.
It's a small fishing boat.
Yes.
It does sort of have like the center console for the...
Yeah, it's a tin boat.
No, it's not.
No?
It's fiberglass.
Okay.
But it's probably very similar in size to like your typical little aluminum fishing boat.
Aluminum, yeah.
It might be a little bit wider, only slightly. But it's up. I mean, the motor, it's on its own trailer, and the motor's like attached and built in, and he has a big VHF aerial, so it looks a bit like a sailboat. It looks like the mast. Anyway, because he fishes down on the coast out in
And you need communication for that.
A little bit safety there. So anyway, it's not a big boat. That's my point. And from that picture of me under the umbrella, it might give you a little bit of an idea how big this boat is. Like the three of us fish in it, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It would be far better with two. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so why am I going on about the size of this boat? Cammie got a 4-person tube. So, so you know, like you pull behind a speedboat, those tubes that people go in? This is a 4-person tube. It was called the Cube. Okay. And we'll put a picture of it here. So Mike hasn't. I haven't seen this yet. Mike so and he's heard none of this. No, he's heard none of this. This is our first time sitting down and talking about things. So he's put. So we're putting a picture up there. That's a 4-person tube. That's a 4. There's the truck. Yeah. So it's as wide as his full-size pickup truck. Okay. Okay, so this tube is roughly 3/4 of the size of the boat. Yes. Okay. So the size comparison between the two things is pretty ridiculous. And when if I sat in this tube with my legs straight out, they didn't touch the other side. Oh. Okay, so this thing is big. So Cam was like, I don't even think my boat will tow it. But it was too funny to not try. Yes, absolutely. I can see that. So we were doing what we called seniors tubing. Okay. And so again, if you gotta picture this. So there I am, and I've got like a big, I don't go out in the sun. I don't take going out in the sun lightly. So I have this big brimmed hat on. I'm wearing like a bathing suit cover up that's like a muumuu. Okay. I'm carrying my yarn. Okay. I'm carrying my knitting and my yarn and a golf umbrella. Okay. And I climb into this thing. And the bottom promptly goes like this. Oh, right? No, yeah. Like it goes. Yeah. And I'm sitting, my legs are up in the air, and anyway, very quickly we discovered it wasn't actually dry inside there. Oh, so Cam slowly sort of, we're doing senior tubing. So they were just going to drag me around the lake slowly. And I have my golf umbrella out. Now the golf umbrella fit inside that hole. When it was open, the golf umbrella came right down over that hole. And then I hear Cam say, "Okay, Sue, we're going to go for it." Oh, and no. I'm like, "Go for what?" He says, "We're going to see if the boat can tow you." And he didn't wait for me to say okay or anything. Yeah. I had time to take the umbrella down, and he boots it. Well, the front end of the tube goes up like this. Oh no. Yeah. And my ass goes down. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm gonna flip. And thank God the rope broke. Oh. The rope broke. It wasn't an appropriate rope for the job. Okay, but I mean, I couldn't have been more dead weight the way I was sitting. Yeah. Because like I said, my ass was right down. Yeah. So, anyway, we all have a good laugh. And we were maybe 20 feet off the shore. So the whole beach is just screaming with laughter. There were people rolling around. So we get tied back up. Yeah. Because I have no pride. Yeah. And Cam's like, okay, well, that's not going to work. Yeah. Yeah. So I put my umbrella back up. Go right back to what you were doing. And sink down into the bottom of my thing. And I could have gone to sleep. I was so comfortable lying in the bottom of this big tube.
Yeah.
With the umbrella, if I got too hot, I just lifted the umbrella up, the air changed, I brought the umbrella down again.
So you were like, so you had like your own little compartment.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh I was fully shaded. It was wonderful. It was amazing. It was wonderful. I loved it. I would have done that all day, every day. It was fabulous. But later on, Cam did say, okay, we're going to go a little bit faster. And I said, hold on. And so I sort of more flattened myself out and kind of leaned to the front. Yeah. And so we were able to go a little bit faster. So I'm on this tube. I'm lying there. I'm sorry. When I say a little bit faster, we're just like, we're still putting along. It's, and I'm like, yeah! But when I did that, I was steering the boat. It was hilarious. Oh my god. Oh my god. It was so funny.
I'll have to experience
it was so we were laughing so hard. So yeah, seniors tubing, and the addendum to that is on the last day we were there, we went out again with a proper ski rope. Yeah. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. And we did manage to pull at full speed. We had Cam and Lloyd took turns in the tube. And when Cam was in there, we went over waves. He's got his legs sticking up and the blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. So that's a tube. But why am I making so much of this? Because it was a funny story. And because, if you remember, I had my knitting with me. You had
your knitting with you. I was wondering about that.
I had my knitting with me. I had my knitting with me. It was in this bag.
Yes.
And my knitting was with me, and I had just cast on a new project, which we'll talk about later. Uh-huh. So I had like the cast on, and I'm doing 2 at a time, which we'll talk about later. I had the 2 things cast on, and I had the first setup row, which is a little, I had to pay attention to put that together. Okay. And for some reason, instead of just taking the 2 balls of yarn that I needed to knit with. Okay. All of the yarn fit in here, so I had everything. I had everything in here. Okay. All the yarn for the project. Okay. Everything. The tube wasn't waterproof.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. So when I was sitting there getting towed around and feeling wonderful, I was actually sort of sitting in about this much water. Yeah. Which also made it wonderful, but also meant
the yarn got soaked.
Completely soaked. Yeah. Completely soaked. So we're going to put a picture here. When we got back, I hung the balls, the little skeins of yarn, and my project bag. I hung them on our clothesline, and just sort of left them there for the night because they were literally dripping. Yeah. They were dripping. They were soaking wet. And then the next picture we'll put up is a picture of the ball bands.
Oh no.
They disintegrated.
Oh no.
So a couple days after this, when they dried out, I kind of picked through them and tried to get enough so that I had the information about the yarn. Yeah. As it happens, I discovered yesterday or the day before that I actually had an intact ball band that wasn't on the maiden voyage of the tube.
Whew, okay.
So I have a good ball band, so I do know, I do still have the information about that. All right. However, I'm still stuck with all these little balls of soaking wet yarn. Mm-hmm. So the next morning I go over and they're still soaking wet.
They're still wet, yes.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to skein this yarn. Okay. So I really need a Swift. And on this trip, although last trip I took my Swift and ball winder, I didn't take them this time. Okay. Because I didn't need them.
Okay.
So we had to build a Swift.
Oh no.
And of course, Cammie took this as the ultimate challenge. So
no.
And so here's a picture of him starting to build the Swift out of the same umbrella I was riding around in the tube.
What?
So he kept saying, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to do it that way, and I kept saying, no, because I need it to this, and I need it to, I was very specific about how it needed to be. So Cammie started building the Swift.
Yeah.
And so there's
he's
a couple,
tying it, he's got rope.
Yeah. So he ties up a couple of these things, and he manages to put together a Swift. Now we're going to put in here a little video of the Swift in operation, taking the yarn from the wet balls, little mint skeins, whatever you call them, and to make skeins out of them.
Okay, we only have to do this 7 times.
Oh, that's alright. It's going relatively quick. I can spin faster if I wanted to.
Hey, it's working, man. Whoa, stop. Back up.
Looks fantastic.
So we got that going.
Yeah.
Right? And then when it was, so I guess, I'm not sure if we'll use that picture. No, wait, is that a video? No. Okay, so that picture is, so the finished ball of yarn all on the Swift.
Swift, yes.
Now, you might ask,
how do you take it off?
how the heck do you get it off now, right? That's not going to work. So, what we have here is a little video of how you get the yarn off your umbrella Swift, which is exactly what they're called. Anyway.
Slide the yarn up first. Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, you slide this yarn?
Yeah, the center. Yeah. There. Yeah, it just works a little easier, that's all.
And then there it is, ready to go for the next the next skein.
I'm seeing these videos at the same time that you guys are.
He's seeing a little bit more raw footage because we're going to have to edit them a little bit. There's stuff that you really don't need to see.
No.
So then
Then you just hang it up.
we've got some pictures there, and we've got the skeins hanging up on the line. You can just sort of see, you can see where my my little bit of knitting is still attached.
Oh my god, it is.
And then this last picture was, so now I've got it in skeins, which is great. And I tell you, they dried in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
But
amazing.
now you need to ball it.
But we left it longer than that because
Yeah.
when the parts where I tied the skeins, I shuffled them around to really make sure they were, because I don't need my yarn rotting. Thank you very much. So then I needed to ball it.
Yeah.
In order to use it. So I know how I can do a hand, I mean, you can just wind a ball. I know how to do the thumb center pull, which I didn't need a center pull. But
yeah.
I also knew that the easiest way to do it would be with a nostopina.
A nostopina. What's a
Do
nostopina?
you know? Well, that's a good question, Mike. So a nostopina is basically, it's a stick, but of course you can get them very ornately decorated and stuff. But it's a stick that is a bit, what's the word?
Tapered?
Tapered, thank you. Stick that's a bit tapered, and you just use it to wind onto. So basically, if you have a ball winder, the center bit of the ball winder is essentially the nostopina. The only difference is that it's what's the word I want? It's automated.
Yeah.
Where when you're working it yourself, you're doing the same, like, sort of this motion around it and turning it at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, this is the picture where we now took the skeins, put them back on the Swift, and then I wound them off onto the nostopina. Now, believe it or not, I don't have a nostopina, or I'd be showing you right now that this is what a nostopina
So what were you?
I was. You can't see it in the picture. It's too bad.
Oh, you can.
Can you? I was using a wooden handled basting brush.
Oh, okay. You don't see that much, but I can see that you're holding.
So it's a basting brush. It was probably about an inch in diameter.
Yeah.
So I mean, this basting brush. So Who needs a Swift and ball winder?
When you have
An
an
umbrella,
umbrella, some rope,
and a basting brush.
and a basting brush.
So that was the excitement with the soaking wet yarn after the rather enjoyable
Yeah.
tow behind the boat.
Yeah.
That was great. So also, while we were camping, I spent a lot of time working on the pattern grading.
Mm-hmm.
I would go into the trailer and I'd have stuff spread out all over the place. And I guess I came out and Cam's like, you had quite a few board meetings in there. Because I guess I was just, that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I was doing a lot of that. We were fishing.
Yes.
It's been a really long time since I've been fishing.
Yep.
And I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed it. We had one casting rod and I was like, oh, Lloyd, do you want to turn?
Yeah.
And then he'd take like two and I'm like, wait, can I do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I caught a couple fish. We let them go. Cammie caught a really nice rainbow trout.
Oh, nice.
And trout's kind of a hit and miss thing. Sometimes it can be quite musty and muddy tasting. Oh,
so good.
So good. Because we weren't sure if it was a rainbow or if it was a kokanee, which is a landlocked salmon.
Right.
And when I just tasted a little bit of it because I didn't want much.
Yeah.
And I was like, like that.
That's a trout.
Could be salmon.
Okay.
Like it was so good, but it was a rainbow trout.
Okay.
We did figure that out. Our truck ran out of oil.
Okay.
So we had to make arrangements and get oil for our truck. We had a propane leak in the middle of the night.
Oh.
So I woke up.
And you were like...
I woke up and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I smell gas. Oh, the windows are open. We'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, this is like literally that, like... Yeah. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, that's not the right answer.
Back up a step.
Wrong answer. So then I'm like... Because I'm up against the wall, so so I'm like, honey, do you smell propane? And he's like, puts his head back down, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm imagining things.
Yeah. Honey.
Did you hear me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he probably had the same thing, too.
The
like,
two of us were just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, so we got that sorted out. That's the second... We had the same problem last year at that campsite.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, it's what happens is the propane runs out. So there's not enough pressure to get it, to keep the fridge lit.
Yeah.
But there's still propane coming through.
Right.
So
okay.
So all we had to do was turn it off and switch tanks.
And turn it back on.
And it was all good. But
maybe air out.
Air out the trailer. Yeah. We did come to an important... conclusion.
Okay.
For the three of us for a 10-day camping trip, we need 1 pound of coffee and 2 full-size bottles of Bailey's.
Okay.
So now we know.
So now you know.
Yeah, I finished it on the last morning. That was it. Actually, I put in my coffee. I had no more room, and then I,
Yeah.
took the last.
Which is the way you finish the Bailey's.
We also had coffee maker wars.
Okay.
So typically when we're camping, we use a plunger coffee.
French press, yeah.
Thank you. A French press for coffee. Glass, very nice. So Lloyd had seen a steel-sided one that was also kind of thermal because it's double-walled.
Yeah.
And it was like, instead of making like 2 or 3 of these plunger pots, this was like a 12-cup plunger pot that was steel-walled. So he got that, and he was like, yeah, that's the answer.
To all our problems, okay.
To all our coffee problems. Well, Cammie showed up with the Coleman drip coffee maker.
Oh!
Which, hello, a drip coffee maker?
For camping.
Yes! So we had alternate days.
Yeah.
We had the drip maker, and then it was like, okay, no, we don't have the coffee mix right for that. And then we had the plunger, and then we tried the drip again, and the plunge. Anyway. So, so we've got great coffee options now.
There's one way of making coffee that I've been wanting to try. It's called I know it as a Japanese coffee siphon. So, Yeah, what you basically do is you have your container that you want the coffee to be in. You fill that up with however much water you want. Then you put a stopper on it that has a tube going through it.
Okay.
Down to the bottom of the pot.
Okay.
And then that tube connects to another basin reservoir thing that has your coffee filter in it and your coffee grounds.
This is called a percolator.
Except that the water evaporates up the tube and then stays there. And then you remove it from heat and it sucks back into the...
It sucks back in. Okay. Because it's very...
That's very percolator.
Anyone who remembers percolators, that's how a percolator works.
Yes,
except
but
that the water drips down.
it bubbles out and around. So
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
And you can just boil it, straight up boil it too.
Yeah.
Just put it in a pot.
Yeah.
Boil it.
Did you try that in your coffee
No,
wars? No,
of course not. Because we had hello.
we had a drip maker and a
We
French
had
press.
a drip coffee maker on our camping trip. Yes. Okay.
Okay. What's next?
Let's see. So what else did I want? Oh, we had a nightly routine. We would all lie back in our zero gravity chairs with the fire going because we could have fires this year.
Yes.
I can't even tell you the last time we had a summer night with a fire. We had fire, and we'd lie back in our chairs, and we had 4 things. We'd lie back, and first we'd see the bats.
Yeah.
And then there were about 5 or 6 commercial airline flights that would go over. We'd go 1, 2, okay, wait.
3.
Okay, the next one's coming. Oh, there it is! Same. So we were right on the sort of incoming towards Vancouver flight path.
Yeah.
And then a star. Oh, okay, stars are coming. And then satellites. So we had these 4 things. We'd be like lying there. Sometimes we didn't make it until we could see all of those things and we'd be in bed. Mm-hmm. Like I said, no pressure.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do
anything.
anything.
Go to bed.
Yeah. So that became kind of a joke. And of course the cows, but that's a completely different story for another day.
Okay.
That's an inside joke and
okay.
So we're out on the lake.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. It's the perfect Canadian moment.
Okay.
Lake is like glass.
Yeah.
It was probably too dark for us to be out on the lake.
Yeah, but...
And you're the loon, you know. Woo! And followed by... cow! And so Cam's like, yeah, that cow wants some feather. Anyway, so that was just another story all together. Oh my gosh. So what else? We're having I think I can stop talking about camping.
You think you can stop talking now?
Yeah.
Well, my beautiful, beautiful girlfriend, but more importantly, my beautiful, beautiful girlfriend's mum.
Beautiful mom.
Beautiful mum. Gave me a gift over the week as a sort of just cuz.
Well, let's see it.
It is this mug, which is a little octopus.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah. It's just a she painted the mug, and yeah, it's a very nice octopus mug, which is a bit of a throwback for me and Robin to when we were in Vancouver at the aquarium.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know, just sort of a me being me, when we were seeing the octopus.
Yeah.
Because the octopus was actually like out and about and active, which I don't think I've ever seen the octopus at the aquarium like that before.
Oh, I have, yeah.
Yeah, I just sort of stood there and went, octopus.
I'm counting the legs.
Octopus. How many legs?
8.
8 legs. Maybe I can talk Robin into... Because Robin has a video of just that. Me standing there just going, octopus.
What is? What is?
Octopus.
What?
Octopus.
So maybe I'll talk her into setting that.
Or did we just see it?
Or did we just see it?
Octopus.
But yeah, I thought that was very nice. So
that's
yeah,
super
this is from,
cute.
Yeah, Yeah, from my beautiful, beautiful girlfriend's beautiful mother.
That is super duper cute. Okay. And I've got, of course, the IPE's coming up in a couple weeks now.
Ooh.
I'll be judging the knitting. It's too late to enter. But if you did enter, I really like M&M. I mean, the judge really likes M&M's. Just saying. Don't take anything by that. But anyway, yeah. So, but I'm gonna, because I can't enter in the knitting category. Yes. I'm entering scones.
Ooh, good plan.
I'm entering scones, and the reason I'm entering is because when you enter stuff, you get a 5-day pass.
Yes, I should have entered something.
And they're well, I won't be using every day, and I have an additional 2 days.
Yes, because I'm a judge. Because you're a judge. So.
And I have a day parking pass.
Yeah, which you don't need.
So yeah, passes are about $30, I think, for a day.
For a day. Yeah. So then, just for entering, you get a 5-day pass, which is the entire IPE.
Yeah, and it costs like $22 to enter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, and that's the Interior Provincial Exhibition
at the Armstrong Fairgrounds.
Which is the largest
agricultural exhibition
in Western Canada besides the Pacific National Exhibition.
Yes.
The PNE in Vancouver.
Yes.
So yeah, anyway, that's coming up too. Did we do it all? We did all of that stuff.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, it's time for Yarnquisitions.
I'm trying to give Mike an opportunity to talk.
Oh, don't worry. I have plans. I have things to talk about later.
Because I'm doing an awful lot of talking. Okay, Yarnquisitions.
Yarnquisitions.
So on my way...
Oh, we actually have Yarnquisitions.
We do.
Oh. I can see by that massive block of notes.
There's all these notes.
Yep.
On my way home, we stopped at Knit 2 Yarns in Kamloops. Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
I told you. Okay, I told you, Carla. And Mike said hi back that
Carla.
day, but we'd already left.
Yeah.
So, hi again. So I stopped in at Knit 2 Yarns because I was still looking for a nice bulky yarn in a color that was appropriate for what we were doing.
Oh man.
So I picked up this Cascade Magnum.
That is thick.
Yeah, and so it's black.
Mm-hmm.
There's it's black.
That is thick.
My girlfriend wanted
like 3 C's.
3 C's?
The hip modern way of spelling thick is with a C and no K. So then depending on how thick something is, you add more C's.
You add more C's. So it's a 250 gram skein with 123 yards or 112 meters. So on a 100 gram skein, it would be like 50-ish.
50-ish, yeah.
Yeah, 50-ish meters. So it's a very heavy yarn.
It is a bulk.
And it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Anyway, yes, my girlfriend wants a Katniss, I don't know if it's like a Katniss cowl or it's like a little mini poncho thing. Anyway, it's from not Game of Thrones.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
The other games.
She's wearing this thing when she's out hunting in the woods, and it became a very popular thing. And if you were to search Katniss, Katniss, cowl or something, there's a few different versions of it that come up, and I'm surprised I'm going to make up my own pattern.
Ooh.
So I got that. I also picked up some yarn from Lichen and Lace. Mike.
Hi.
Would you like to tell us about Lichen and Lace?
I have a whole page of notes on Lichen and Lace.
Remembering back to this, our educational mandate.
Yes. So I, just for a source, I got most of this from the About page on lichenandlace.com. So yeah, some of this sounds like that. So yeah, Megan came up with the name Lichen and Lace when she sold her original knitting shop in, where did I say it was? Kensington Market, Toronto. That one was called Lettuce Knits. As lettuce as in the leafy green.
Yeah, lettuce knits.
Yes.
Cool.
She chose it because it was vague and me enough. So.
Yeah, meaning small.
No, me.
Oh, me. Okay,
It
pardon
was
me.
vague, and it was like Megan enough.
Okay.
After that, she moved to the East Coast to Sackville with a few dusty dyes that she was able to recover from her store. And there she met Deanne Fitzpatrick, and her rug hooking studio.
Oh.
And started a little, dyeing yarn for Deanne in the rug hooking studio, as well as making rugs for herself. And around that time, she started selling some of her crafts and some of her yarns on Etsy. In spring of 2013, she began creating the first labels for her yarn balls skeins.
I love her labels.
Yes. She was originally using brown packing paper cut into 8.5 by 11 size so that it could be put into her printer.
And then sewing up the side
and then
there.
sewing up
That's
the side.
so cute.
She didn't start sewing them immediately. Originally, they were just taped together. The first photo she has of sewing the labels together, which is the first time she can verify she started doing that, was a year later in spring 2014.
Okay. I just think they're so cute and unique.
Yep. Deanne ended up being Lichen and Lace's first wholesale partner.
Right.
And she made yarn for them for 2 years. And then she eventually started selling at maker and farmers markets, as well as Etsy. In August of 2015, which was apparently a very fateful week for her, she finally launched her Shopify.
Right.
And she credits that the only way she had enough time to launch her Shopify was the fact that her husband took their kids to Newfoundland for a week.
Okay.
Which just gave her alone time.
Yeah.
However, he took their shared phone and laptop, so she didn't have anything to work with.
Oh, no.
So Deanne loaned her a phone and laptop. So throughout this whole thing, Megan's like, without Deanne, this would have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, finally set up her Shopify. So that was August 2015. In September of 2016, she finally moved the business out of her home basement after doing that for 4 years.
Right.
Into a dye studio. But she was still working alone. She was very introverted.
Okay.
And in November 2016, she took an intern for a week.
Yes.
Which sort of clued into her that maybe she can start working for some other people.
Right.
Or working with some other people. April 2017, one of her friends asked Megan if her friend's sister could stay at the yarn studio, because there was a bed there, in exchange for some work at the studio.
Working at the studio, yeah.
And that was such a successful arrangement that Megan ended up hiring Izzy.
Okay.
And Izzy works there to this day. And then in April 2018, she hired Rebecca as head of shipping. And that's where Lichen and Lace is to this day, is Megan, Izzy, and Rebecca.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's it. That's neat. So but you didn't find out exactly where on the East Coast she is?
Sackville.
Sackville. I'm pretty sure it's Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
It's Sackville. Here, we have a tablet right here.
We have a tablet right there. Why don't you look that up? Okay, so I picked up some Lichen and Lace yarn from Knit 2 Yarns in Kamloops.
New Brunswick.
Okay, it's in New Brunswick.
Lower Sackville is in Nova Scotia.
Okay, well maybe she's from Lower. I don't know why. I just really thought she was. Anyway, that's
okay.
So
wow.
Just stop. That's moving ahead.
Okay.
So I picked up, and I'm going to make my Soldotna.
Soldotna.
By Caitlin Hunter. The Soldotna crop. Okay, so the colors I picked up are nutmeg.
Ooh, very nice brown. Sort of a reddy brown.
Rusty reddy brown. Yeah. Nutmeg and sage.
Come here, Jude.
So this is it's sage. It's a sagey green.
Yeah.
And sky. So it's a nice tonal blue. And pollen. Which, a beautiful golden color. So those are my, there we go. Those are my colors for my soldotna. Now you may be able to tell just looking at the yarn. It's a rustic woolly wool.
Mm-hmm.
Jude's
inspecting the table.
Yeah. It's it feels a little rough.
Yeah.
It's rough to the feel. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second when we get on to whips.
Whips?
But the other thing I picked up was also a my bracelet.
Ooh!
So it's a measuring tape bracelet.
I see.
From Big Blue Mama.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see that. Anyway. So yeah, it's got this easy snap and where is it? There we go.
And
Big Blue Mama.
And now it's a measuring tape.
Big Blue Mama. And you can get Carrie's done a really good job of getting these out to lots of yarn stores. And I know they have them locally here at Twisted Pearl.
Okay.
And they have, I'm pretty sure the Twisted Yarn carries them in Vernon. And the only reason that I ended up picking mine up at Knit 2 Yarns in Kamloops was because it was purely a color choice.
Okay.
Because they come in all sorts of colors. There's metallic ones. There's, and I just wanted something more neutral.
Yeah.
So that is why I got mine there. Mine is the 16-inch. There are different sizes, and they come in these cute little boxes, which of course I don't have the box right here, but these hand cut out, really cute little boxes, which I'm now using for holding like notions and things.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are my, and the other thing, Knit 2 Yarns in Kamloops is holding a cast on party.
Ooh.
On Saturday, August 10th at the store. And there's prizes and stuff. Carla told me a little bit about that. I can't tell you.
Ooh.
So hopefully if we get this up quick enough, if you're a local watcher and you want to go join the cast on party at Knit 2 Yarns in Kamloops on Saturday, I think it starts at 10.
Ooh.
I was going to go, but I have a client.
August 10th, that's a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I could probably go.
Ooh, you should. You need something to cast on, though.
Yeah, I can't remember if I'm...
You could go buy something and cast on. Well, anyway, we'll find out about that later. Maybe Mike will go.
Maybe I'll be there.
That'll be fun.
I can't make any promises right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put a thing up if I can make a promise.
Whatever.
Okay, anyway.
Maybe or maybe not. He'll
maybe
be there.
or maybe not.
All right. Whips. Oh, no, pardon me. Foes.
Foes.
Any luck?
No.
No. Okay. Whips.
Whips.
Or did I show Dad's socks last time? Oh,
did you finish them? Because if you finished them, you didn't.
Okay, I finished Dad's socks.
Ooh!
They're probably in his drawer.
Back up to foes. Oh, okay. Forward to whips. We'll show those next time.
So, yeah. You would have seen them. Look at, if you want to know what they almost looked like, you can see it in the last one.
Yes.
Okay. So. Whips. Do you want, okay,
sure.
Go.
So I got a couple more rows on the Ursa sweater by Jacqueline Cieslak?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Carla's gonna knit one of these too.
Ooh, yep. Nice. So, there we go. I finally have the triangle going on both the front and the back. In this nice sort of Merlot color. And yeah, there was a really... The front bit looks a bit wonky. And that's because I came to it on one of the rows. And I just looked at it. Yeah, well, a little bit. There's a row in there that looks a little wonky. Because I came to it and it was like, I don't know what I did last round. And then I realized that what I had done was instead of doing like the yarn over slip one, I had yarn over knit one.
Okay, no one will ever see it.
Nope.
Nope.
So that was a bit wonky, but yeah, a couple rows on that, and I think I'm doing this correctly. I'm doing a lot of inferring, but
good.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, there was a little bit of inferring there. I remember that. I kind of went.
Is that what you really want me to do?
Yeah. And so I realized we didn't say foes, finished
objects. Whips, work in progress.
So, as I alluded to, I'm starting my Soldotna crop, and I could not wait to cast it on.
Oh, yeah?
Not like I had anything else in it. So, I've done my gauge swatch in the round, and so there's my gauge swatch, and I screwed up the pattern, but I didn't care because this was about getting gauge, not about whether or not the pattern was right.
Yep.
And my gauge swatch, I've got too many, my stitches are too small on my gauge swatch. So I'm not going to do another gauge swatch. I'm just going to needle up a size.
Okay.
And as I was making my decision about that, this morning, so I bought this pattern, like 2 days ago?
Okay.
This morning, this thing pops up on Instagram, and Caitlin Hunter has extended the sizes on this. She's added 3 more sizes, so up to a 60-inch bust.
Ooh.
And I was looking at the largest size in the pattern.
Yes.
Because I did get the hard copy pattern because it's nice.
Yes.
I was looking at the largest size, and with my gauge being just a little bit off, I was thinking, if there was just one more size.
Yeah.
I would go with what I am doing, and I would size up one.
Yeah.
And now, boom!
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
So with the download code that I got for Ravelry, I was able to get the new sizes.
Yay!
So thank you, Caitlin Hunter, for sizing up the Soldotna crop.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've talked about this a few times.
Yeah,
just that it was on my to-do list, and I'm looking for yarn and stuff.
Yeah, Soldotna. Yeah, you've definitely mentioned that a couple times.
So I did cast on.
Okay.
Something that comes up a lot of times for newer knitters when you're casting on a lot of stitches.
Yes.
And you're using a long tail cast on is, how do you know how much yarn to leave for your tail?
Yes.
Well, you can tell my method didn't work for me this time, because there's my tail. But I will openly admit too, I did add extra. And I'm thinking I counted wrong when I was measuring, like counted how many. Anyway, so for someone who's wondering, how do you do that? You simply take your yarn before you cast on. You take your yarn, you leave yourself sort of, I want to have about that much of a tail.
Yeah.
And then you wrap your yarn around your needle. Now I like to, it depends how many you're casting on, but I like to do like 20 wraps. So let's just pretend that that's like 20 wraps.
Okay.
And then you take the measurement from your tail to where the end of your 20 wraps was. And now you've got
20 wraps.
20, 40, 60, 8, so however many stitches you need to cast on.
Okay.
So that's a good way to estimate how much yarn you're going to need so you don't A, run short, and B, end up with a long tail.
Okay.
Which obviously that didn't work for me this time. But usually it works.
Sometimes,
almost perfectly.
Yeah.
So yeah, long tail cast on, how much yarn to use. Now the other thing that sometimes people are like, oh my god, I hate counting all those stitches.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that I'm just on the cast on.
Yeah.
That's all I've done. And I've got little bobbles going along.
Yeah.
So I do the same thing. Again, depends how many stitches I'm casting on. But I'll break it down. In this case, I broke it down by 20s.
Okay.
And then I'll just drop a stitch marker in. And like I double check 20, drop the stitch marker. Do 20, double check it, drop a stitch marker. So then when I'm going back, okay, how many stitches do I have? I can just go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, carry on. And so that's what And then I just get rid of the stitch markers on my next round.
Yeah.
So those are just a couple of little what Sue does.
Yeah.
Yeah. For casting on.
When she does the things.
Yeah. So that is, look for my Soldotna crop to be a work in progress. I've heard people say that it goes so fast it might just end up being a faux sooner than later. Okay. But now you talking about the yarn, so you felt it earlier.
Yes.
Now this has been washed and blocked.
Okay. Ooh.
It's still
wool.
Yeah, but it's much softer.
Yeah, yes.
And it blooms. Yes. So if you're sort of questioning, it's 100% Canadian wool. Mm-hmm. It's not super wash. I haven't done this yet. No, I'm not feeling any prick from it at all. So yeah, it's really nice. And so I'm looking forward to this. Mine's going to be, a lot of Soldotnas are very bright.
Yeah. And
mine's going to be a lot more earthy.
Yep.
By the colors I chose, but there we go.
Okay.
Do you have another?
I was going to bring up my socks, but I've just only put a couple rounds into it, so it's the same old, same old.
Yeah. I'm the same way with my blanket. I did work on it while we were driving to camping.
Yep.
But you know what? It looks the same as it always did.
Yep.
So we'll talk about it again another day.
Okay.
Now I did though. So I was gonna work on the yarn that got wet.
Yes.
Melissa, look away, or Mike's gonna put up a timestamp here when you can fast forward to.
And this is only for Melissa.
This is only for Melissa. Melissa.
Stop.
Do you think she stopped?
I think she stopped.
I don't know.
She probably hasn't. But
you're spoiling it for yourself.
Last chance.
Okay. So I am making. Okay, you guys have all heard me talk if you've been watching. Calm by Kim Hargreaves is a magazine I picked up last year. This is the third pattern I'm making out of it. So for my daughter, Melissa, she asked me for this top. So that's what I was starting to cast on while we were away. And of course on day one...
Got soaked
and I couldn't knit because you can't knit wet yarn. So now I'm going back. While that was drying, I cast on another pair of socks.
Ooh. My touch.
Yeah, so this yarn is Riverstone Yarns. Where is that? Oh, it's not Poppy. There it is. Riverstone Yarns. Merino sock yarn. This was a mini in ocean blue that I picked up at Fiberphilia in New Denver. And the striped, so that's for my toe and heel and stuff. And the striped yarn is Mud Punch, and you've seen me with the same colorway, but I had bright green. Oh, that was the one that became camel toes. Oh. With a bright green. But yeah, I'm really liking how that's coming along. So I cast those on when I couldn't knit on cargo. Okay, so Melissa's missing all of this.
Yes.
And so now, once my yarn got dried out, there's one part of one of the very sad little pieces of...
Is this brioche?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It is not, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because that wouldn't be fair to the pattern writer.
Okay.
So here I am. I'm doing the front and the back, and of course I'm mid-row, which is a no-no. So I'm doing the front and the back at the same time because they're exactly the same. It has a split hem, which is what these markers are denoting. Okay. And where's my... So, and you see how sort of tight that looks. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What am I doing? And when it's blocked, it really... it
opens up.
Opens up quite a bit.
Okay.
So it looks fairly small.
Yes.
But it will open up quite a bit. And it's meant to be fairly close fitting. It's not meant to be a real loosey-goosey kind of top. Whoops. So this is interesting because I looked at this and I thought it looked like a really fun stitch pattern. I didn't look at the pattern. I just thought that looked like fun. This is about as boring as knitting stocking stitch or garter stitch.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a challenge in that respect. I mean, it is... Oh, no. Okay, no, let's rephrase it. It's more like ribbing.
Okay.
Every row is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you, like, right side, wrong side, it's exactly the same.
Okay.
But there are combinations of knits and purls, but nothing you have to strain your brain for. So, yes, it's a pretty boring knit, but I keep telling myself it's going to be okay.
It's going to be so good.
It's going to be so great. I've already decided to shorten it. This split hem part, I stopped. I can't remember if that's 3. I think that's about 3 inches. It was supposed to be 6 inches. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's just ridiculous. And then I looked at how long the sweater is. Like, it really goes right down over the bum. Yeah. And I thought about Melissa, and I was like, that's not her kind of style. So it's going to be a bit shorter and that. So that is Cargo by Kim Hargreaves, a work in progress. And there's one of the beautiful skeins of yarn.
As they were supposed to appear. Oh, no. Sorry, that's as you've... Okay.
That's as they were swifted up at the campsite in the umbrella. Swift with the Nostopina that wasn't really Nostopina. So now Michael put in a timestamp that says Melissa can come back. Yeah.
Hi, Melissa. Welcome back.
Cargo blanket socks. Yeah, so Melissa, you missed out on the socks, but you can see them another time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And did you have any more whips?
Nope.
Okay. So, Mike, what do you bring to the table?
Well, I was going to bring a game to the table today, and it was sort of on my mind because I finally got the email today that my copy of the game has shipped.
Woo! Yay!
But you know what? I think I like talking more about games when I actually have something that I can touch and feel and show you guys and when I actually understand the rules. So I think I'll put that off till next week. But, related to this, I do want to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter experience. Because I can foresee this coming to yarn near you.
Oh, interesting.
I can foresee that. So Kickstarter, some of you already know what Kickstarter is, and this is going to be old news to you. But for some of you, Kickstarter is a website that you've never heard of. The basic premise of Kickstarter is someone says, hey, I've got this project. Here's my pitch for it. I need X amount of dollars for it. And if you chip in these amount of dollars,
levels.
These levels, you'll get something in the end. If it's a movie that they're kickstarting, typically it's a copy of the movie, and then at higher donation tiers, you might get signed copies, exclusive copies, all that stuff. And I can foresee this coming to.
It kind of already is.
Yeah, right.
So carry on.
But. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about my experience with Bargain Quest, because I personally have been Bargain Quest is the game that I have ordered through Kickstarter, and today got the the email that my copy's on its way. But it's because I've been really leery of Kickstarter, particularly for board games, because you're getting the sales pitch. By the time you receive your version of whatever it is that they're selling you, there have been no reviews published. Yeah. Nobody else has had their chance to see, touch, feel, and tell you what it's like. And also, sometimes a scary thing on Kickstarter is backing a project from somebody who has never had a project on Kickstarter before. Because on Kickstarter, you can see this project that someone has put up, and then you can check on them and see the current status of other projects they have put up, even in the past, even ones that are like years done. You can look at it and see how often did they update backers, how much promised was delivered.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Literally, the only reason I backed this Kickstarter was because it was a Kickstarter for the second printing of this game. So I actually saw a review of this game where the guys were like, go back this Kickstarter, like, right now. Like, this game is amazing, go back it right now.
Okay.
And
so how's your experience been?
well, it's been delay after delay after delay, which is why I'm super excited that my copy is finally on its way. Because they initially promised fourth quarter 2018.
Ooh, yeah.
And we're now in, like, third quarter 2019.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, even, like, around their promised delivery date, they're like, okay, guys, it's not working. There have been too many problems in our printing. Now we're going to say May 2019.
Right. So, okay.
So, okay. And then they were like, okay, so we finally, our printing in China is finally all done. It's now on the boat over to Canada. We should start shipping those out early June.
Right.
It's the end of August. It's just the start of August, and I just got the email that it's finally on its way.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just be careful on Kickstarter. Check if you can. Check on history projects. Kickstarter tends to be all or nothing, so the person who's putting up the project will set a goal for how much money they want to raise, and they only get any of that money if the goal is reached.
Do you remember Sorry. Do you remember the flying testicle balloon?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What was it for prostate cancer?
For prostate cancer, yeah.
He wanted to make a hot air balloon that looked
like a flying testicle.
Flying testicles.
Yeah, and I think that Kickstarter failed.
He didn't get enough money.
No.
So if he doesn't get it, if they don't take any money until they've got
funded
their
and even then they don't actually take your money until the Kickstarter is done. Until the posted end date of the Kickstarter.
Right.
Which you should also then be careful of projects that are posted on, I think it's Indiegogo and GoFundMe.
Okay.
Because those generally are not all or nothing.
Yeah.
If you promise your money, they're taking your money.
They're taking your money, yeah. It happens sort of right away. Yeah. Yeah, no, and there have been Kickstarters that people have done. Dad's home. Dad's home. He went for a dip in the lake. There have been Kickstarters for pattern projects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I know in the last year, I think there was someone who was putting together a book of patterns, and they wanted to get it printed and everything. Like, it's one thing to just go, boom, here it is on Ravelry.
Yeah.
If you want to get it turned into, a nice book, it takes you need some money behind that.
Well, yeah,
And I just remember because the grocery girls mentioned it on there. They've been trying to get their money for a couple months, and then the grocery girls mentioned it, and boom, they were funded.
Yeah. Yeah, that can also happen. Yeah. But I also remember hearing stories in the realm of like animated shows or video games, I think, where this person promised, like, hey, yeah, we're making this video game. It's going to have all these wonderful, amazing features, and a video game of this level typically takes millions of dollars to make. Yeah. We want $50,000.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, if it takes millions of dollars...
Why aren't you asking me for millions of dollars?
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't sound like that's going to work.
As it turns out, that was funded. And then a year later, they're like, hey, so we didn't get enough money the first time. We need more money. It's just like, guys, come on.
Oh,
anyway.
Man, that is too bad.
Anyway.
Okay, so there you go. Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good news. All right, and it's coming, and we'll hear about Bargain Quest.
Yes.
So, it's now time for events from around the world. Okay. So, we've got a couple of close to home, a couple, of out in the future. events. So we'll start with one that's coming up this next week.
Okay.
August 14th
Yes,
to
next
18th.
week.
It's the Festival de la Fibre Festival in Saint-André-Avelin, Quebec.
I think we've talked about that before.
I think we have. Probably last year. And this is what I'm finding is a lot of them are coming up
Again.
Yeah.
So good to keep them coming.
Yeah, so August 14th to 18th, 2019, Fibre Festival in Saint-André-Avelin,
Quebec.
On September 14th, 2019, upcoming, planning ahead, Prairie Fibre Festival in Airdrie, Alberta.
Ooh.
Should be another good one.
Yes.
And then planning a little bit further ahead because for some of us this would take some travel plans.
Yes.
November 16th and 17th, 2019 is Barcelona Knits. And that's in Spain.
Barcelona, Spain.
Barcelona, Spain. So there you go. That's some events from around the world.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Check those out.
Yeah.
Well, we've been recording for over an hour.
Oh my God.
I think that's all we have today.
I'm not going to add any more.
I'm not either. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sticking it out to the end if you have. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out here on YouTube if you do that.
Even just say hi.
Even just say hi. You know, tell us what you're working on. Tell us what you're working on, please.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, Close Knit Family Knitcast. Join us on Ravelry. All the information for that will be on the end card and in the description. And as always, keep your knitting close and your family closer. Bye.
Bye.